Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Wow. Well,
We got 11 inside the chat room.
I got it was at 12 and it just dropped down to 11. Somebody took off when they saw my face. Oh man.
It ain't your fault. It's mine. So, folks.
Well, don't
Come
look
on,
at me. I'm just here.
Oh, hang on. I also need to take some of that and okay. So don't forget, people, please give me a thumbs up. Help me with YouTube. All right. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Well, it is for those who live up north, but the ones who live down south think we're all crazy.
Well, now I got some pictures in here, some of the stuff that they got to worry about. And I grew up, well, I was born down in Glendale, Southern California. Down there for a couple of years. We moved to Northern California, which is, well, same weather basically. For 6 years, we moved back down there till I was junior in high school. We had some hellacious floods down there in LA. Why do you think they cemented the entire Los Angeles River? It wasn't for the movie studios. All right, let's see all here. First one in was Mary Beth Smith. And then we had North Idaho Chronicles. Then Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. Michael 58. CR, Creative Redundancy. Scrolling up, Maccabeus, Off-Grid Everyday Survival. And Christy Betts. On down here. Everybody's chit-chatting there. I'm just scrolling down through the side chat here.
Speed it up, will you?
Speed up. Okay, down to the bottom. And we'll be having other people come in.
Well, you missed one of the most important people from the Canadian area. She's going to hunt you. She is going to hunt you down.
Lori, wait, Lori. Oh, I never. It was right there at the end. You told me to speed up, so I missed Lori, Prairie Rider. All right,
blame it on me.
The Queen of the North, and Tip Top Farms in the house too. All righty. Okay, so winter. Come on, let's go. There it goes. Winter storms.
Do you know I can actually, if we get a snow like that here, I can take a picture out my back door that matches almost exactly that picture right there.
Yeah, we had it coming down here a couple of weeks ago out the front here, and Festus Hagen's in the house, and Gray 1107.
I'm referring to the picture of the trees itself.
Yeah,
it looks like they took it right outside my front door.
I don't have to worry about it. Our snow level is about 5,000 feet that way.
Yeah. All right. So tonight, hey, it is the season of storms. We're into wintertime here. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. Oh, Lori says getting freezing rain. Oh, wrong one. It's jump. Man, I hate it when it jumps that fast on me. Everyone's talking so fast. All right, so I got putting down in the banner, scrolling across the bottom there. Guys, what does winter storm mean to you, and what usually happens in your area when you have one? Gunslinger Outdoors. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, so, I'll start. All right. I'm brave. Y'all don't understand what a winter storm is. Now, people out in the mountains in California might, Vermont might, but when you have snowdrifts that are literally higher than the roof of your neighbor's house, upwards of the middle of the second story, and that comes down within 24 hours, that's a snowstorm. Okay, yeah. That's the kind of stuff I grew up in. So when y'all talk about these pretty little pictures that he's got up in here, those ain't storms. Okay, I
got one in here. I got one in here for you.
I seen it. But what we did is when the meteorologist would say, "Hey, we have a big storm coming, we would go to the store while our cars would still travel the road and stock up on extra essentials just in case we get snowed in. In the winter of 77, 78 in Michigan, where I lived right off the lake, we literally got 8 feet of snow in a 24-hour period of time because of lake effect.
Yeah.
Our cars were buried. We literally had to dig a tunnel outside the front door just to get out of the house. If we hadn't listened to the news, we wouldn't have made, we'd have ran out of stuff.
Yeah. I think that was the same year. I was back in West Virginia in a little town called Buchanan, West Virginia. And yeah, we were totally snowed in that winter, and it was like, we couldn't do hardly anything. All right. But I do know one thing. When I was my first big snowstorm, I was a senior in high school, so it's 1975. March 31st. It was, it's 68 degrees out, sunny, great, winter's over. April 1st morning, 3 feet of snow on the ground. Yeah, that was my first real winter storm. It happened overnight while we were all asleep. Next at 6 o'clock in the morning, there was friggin' 3 feet on snow on the ground when we went out to milk the cow. And Howie, snow is rare here in southern Vancouver Island
because it's a semi-tropical. Whatchamacallit?
Yeah,
jet stream island. So
yeah. All right, so let me get down here and take it down to the next one. So actually, this video, just so everyone knows, this is part 7 of my little winter preparedness series, and those are the previous ones. Part 1 was getting ready for winter, what you forgot to do. Part 2 was what do you have for winter backup power? Part 3 was heating, emergency or not, what your choice is. Part 4 was welcome to 2021 cabin fever. And we talked about doing stuff when you're all locked up and snowbound or whatever. Part 5 was cooking in disaster, no power, no gas, but firewood. Friday was how much is enough? And then I had a little addendum in here for the heating one. I talked about the video I was going to put out, and I put it out yesterday, the Mr. Butter's heating review.
Okay, folks, you see that background right there? If I hear another person says you could forage out in that kind of conditions, I swear to God, I'm going to punch him in the head.
You ain't going to be foraged.
Come on over, because you know what? I grew up in that kind of stuff. You learn to deal with it. You wrap your face and everything. You put on goggles that have a rubber seal so you can still see. Now, I will caveat that with you will have ice hanging off the front of your mouth and face where your nose and mouth are exhaling your air, and you will be stiff as a board by the time you get back in the house. But you can forage for wood. I didn't say food, because you know what? Even the animals are smart enough to hide in that stuff.
Right. Yeah. I had people on another live stream keep telling me, you could get food out there. I'm looking at, nah. Listen to Dave, only wood.
Yep.
And you had somebody new come in, somebody that I hadn't seen before.
All right, let me go ahead and take this down to the next one here. Now, I have some friends that have been posting on Facebook. Oh, we had our first frost, we had our snow, and actually, one of the guys put out a little video from back over on the western side of Idaho, showing all the nice, pretty stuff like this. Problem is, when you get all this nice frost and snow and ice in the trees, that's what I call widowmaker. That's a widow maker.
Yeah. Northern Girl Hobbies and Ungrateful Peasant.
Hey,
welcome.
Hey guys, welcome in.
There's Michael.
Yeah. All right, and so but besides this, the prettiness of it, what are the effects of a winter storm? Well, it depends where you're at. If you're up in Maine, if you're in Florida, if you're in Southern California with Steve, Corsair Trainers, or you're up in, with North Idaho Chronicles up north there. But if you're down like with the Broussards and stuff is in Louisiana, Alabama, and down the Gulf states there, you're going to get a lot of rain.
Well, I do remember, oh gosh, it was back while I still drove trucks, so it's been probably 15 or more years ago, when Atlanta got 2 or 3 inches of snow, and it shut it down because the roads were literally so blocked with traffic and accidents, nobody could go nowhere.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly a non-snow area, when they get just a little bit, everybody freaks out. Yeah, good point, Gunslinger.
Good job, Northern Girl.
And Martha's in the house.
Hey, Martha.
Hey, Martha. Old school prepper. And so, and here's the thing is, you see flooding like that. When I grew up down in Southern California, and when I was living in just outside of Glendale from 66 to 73, I was living in a town called Tujunga, right off the Big Tujunga Canyon. That canyon flooded like you would not believe every friggin' year. And it flooded so bad that one year it washed out, I think it was like 6 or 7 of the bridges going up the canyon. It took them a year and a half to fix it so they get the road going up there again.
Right. Also, wasn't there another canyon that the dam failed at that time after a rainstorm and just washed out everything out of the canyon?
Southern California?
Yeah. They had a Boy Scout troop got lost, highway patrol got lost.
That was Big Tujunga Canyon.
It was?
It was.
That was another one. The only survival.
My brother was in that Boy Scout troop. My older brother. And he wanted to punch out that scoutmaster because everyone was telling him, shouldn't be going up here. We shouldn't be going up here. Yeah. Anyways. All right, let's see. Yeah. Winter storms for a lot of people has nothing to do with snow and ice. It has to do with enormous amounts of rain.
Yep.
Cold rain.
I wish it came and rained on us right now. We're still in a drought.
Yeah. However, for other people, it has everything to do with snow. And let's not get my little things whited out there. Now, just so everybody knows, most of the photos I'm going to be showing you here of the freeways, that most of that is Interstate 80 across the United States. Whoa.
Nice.
100. Oh, I got to put that one up here.
Yeah, the big windstorms coming down central part of America.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the first time we've seen a hurricane and a snowstorm together. Snow-nado, or is it snow-a-cane, or is it?
It's moving down into the storm cellar and just staying down there for a while. All right. So this here is actually I-80 in California between Reno and Truckee. And Dave and I have driven that many times.
I hate that word.
Yeah. And this is New England states. Boston type area. Now, this is what most people think of when they hear damage from a winter storm. Power lines going down. And I think I can go ahead and pull that banner off there. Let me go ahead and stop that. There we go.
Thank you.
And go back to comments here. And yeah, you get your snow building up on power lines and stuff, and the wind picks up and just pulls everything down. And come on, where's that? So there we go.
You have freezing rain that lasts literally for like 6 hours, and your power lines get so heavy they just crack and snap under the weight.
Yeah. And this is the other effect of winter storms. I remember in the winter of '74 that was my junior year, we had to go up to we were on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and we had to drive up to almost to Salt Lake to Draper, Utah, to help replace water lines and stuff in my sister's house up there because she and her husband didn't know how to do it. And so my dad and my brother and I went up there and fixed it. And it turned out her brother-in-law in a new subdivision, they cut the water line depth to the bare minimum they were required to. And that year the frost line was below that, and it broke the line as it came through the concrete into the house.
Hey, Budget.
Flooded out their basement.
Hey, VK.
Hey, Budget. All right. But hey, that does give you some nice artwork for a little while in your living room.
Sure.
Sure.
Or in the kitchen. Some nice crystalline artwork. Or it just totally screws up your garage if you happen to have a little apartment above the garage with water lines out there.
Or somebody just plain forgot to close their garage doors.
No, that's flooding because that's solid ice around the tires at the bottom there and ice dripping down. And you can see all the insulation falling down from the ceiling. So, yeah, it got bad.
Bumblebee.
Hi, Bumblebee.
Hey, Bumblebee. So, how do winter storms affect the roadways? You know, I know Dave's been through too many of them, and I've been driving through too many of them. This here is also I-80. This is between Donner, Summit, and Truckee.
And if y'all notice, you don't see any cars in that picture. You know why?
Oh, there's 5 cars in that picture.
Yeah, more than likely they're probably road commission people, because when I-80 gets like that, especially around Donner into Truckee, they close it down because they're the closest press area, closest service place is miles away from where you are. Even though there's an off ramp right there, it pretty much goes to nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, you can barely see over here. Let me put it in my cursor. Right over here is one vehicle. Here's a truck, and I can see another pair of taillights in front of it. And I can barely see up here a set of headlights coming down the hill. And I'm not sure. I think there's another set of taillights over here.
And if you look at that one vehicle that's facing you that you can see clearly, that's actually a semi sitting on the side of the road, not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hi, Liberty Garden.
Hey, Liberty Gardens. So
yet down there in Texas?
Yeah. All right. So this is the afternoon, I-80, just a little bit past Truckee at the truck scales and the agricultural inspection station. Do you see any vehicles going any which way anywhere? None.
Martha asked a question to me, so I will answer it.
Yeah.
First thing, folks, if you're driving a stick shift, if you're proficient in driving one, and you hit a patch of ice, push in the clutch, take your foot off the brake, take your foot off the accelerator, and let your car regain itself. It will. Don't panic. Don't flip out. Don't jerk your steering wheel, because when your tires finally do catch, guess what? You're suddenly going the opposite direction. Let the car regain its own momentum. If you're driving a manual or an automatic, flip it into neutral. Same process.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is you're looking east, so this is the westbound lane coming into the scales. Over here is the the westbound auto traffic going into the inspection station. And on the other side of the trees over here, you can barely see it. Over here is the eastbound lanes. You can't hardly see it at all over there, but that's the eastbound lanes. It's all shut down. There's a reason I'm talking about. It's going to show you a bunch of shut down roads here and what happens. Dave, you started to say something.
Yeah, I hate that area.
Yeah.
It's that
I hate from this area heading east. It gets worse going east from this point.
You're going uphill, that's why.
Well, it's also narrow, and you get down in the canyon and you're zigzagging. I mean, you're like a serpent following the Truckee River, and it's ugly. Tibor, hey.
That's
How's it
just a
going?
rumor. Bumblebee, that's just a rumor. More Fearborn, nothing to worry about.
All right. Okay. This one's pixelated. I couldn't find a good one of it, but this is westbound traffic on IE at Donner Lake exit, and it's just about ready to be shut down. Because I was making a trip back there in February, and they shut it down right after I went through. And if you're heading westbound, and you're just leaving Nevada, 2 miles before you leave Nevada, and I can't remember the name of that little town, exit number 2. Heading from Nevada, the first town you come into Nevada, but it's exit 2 is the exit there. Caltrans and California Highway Patrol go into Nevada and set up their inspection station there. That way they can turn people off the off-ramp there and send them back to Reno to get chains or whatever they need to get.
You'd be surprised a lot of people don't carry chains.
Mm-hmm.
I never did in the truck. I told the boss if it gets to the point where I got to have change, my truck ain't moving.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, but that's why they quit sending me out west.
Yeah. And of course, here's another. That's Interstate 80 up there. It could be in Michigan, but that's Interstate 80.
No, 80 is not in Michigan. Hey, Wolf.
Hey, Wolfgang. So So this is actually I've seen the snow this deep off of up by Reno, actually south of Reno on Lake Tahoe, a little town called Tahoma, which is just south of Homewood Ski Resort. I've seen the snow that high in that little town there because a friend of mine had a cabin there, and we'd go up there during Christmas break, and the snow was actually up to the second-story window, and that's how we first had to get into the house, was hike up there and then get the fire going in the house and everything else, and then dig out for it, turn the water on. Yeah, it was a pain, but we dug tunnels to get in and out of the house. We were teenagers. We loved it. Okay, and this is a problem. I know this area, this one here, people come down there, and this area, for some reason, just the way it is, gets black ice. And you'll get a truck coming down there just maintaining it right, and you'll get some idiot in a car, like a little Subaru or something, think, oh, I can go as fast as I want. They come down there doing 65, and they'll change lanes quickly in front of the truck, and they'll feel a little fishtail and they slam on the brakes. And they spin out, and everybody starts spinning, and everybody starts applying brakes, and that's usually what happens in that area.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd find it, but yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share something real quick.
All right. So anybody wondering, why your Christmas presents didn't arrive that were shipped from Amazon and FedEx? All right, we're going to switch here to this one here.
See that one on the far right?
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't see my truck, I was stuck in the backup of that accident. That's in I-94 in Michigan, which is in what they call the snow belt.
Actually, I may have that picture in my slides here.
Yeah, that's I-94 in Michigan.
Yeah. Cool.
So
all right.
Just because you out of the road doesn't mean you're safe.
Yeah.
That was an 8-hour wait before I could move. The only benefit was I had just left the truck stop, which is like 8 miles to the east of that area right there. And it didn't just shut down the one side. It actually shut down both sides of the highway.
Yeah, because I see emergency vehicles over here.
Yep.
And so when the tow trucks start coming in the cranes.
Yep.
All right. So let's go back over here to this one here. And let's see what we got coming up here. Okay, this is I-80 at Kingvale. Now, what I didn't notice this at first when I looked at this picture, but down here in the bottom, see next to the orange car here, you see the little traffic cones there? They're bringing it from 2 lanes down to 1 lane because in the fast lane up here is another accident. And then here, This truck here on the far left here, these two trucks, they're parked. The door's open. They're off on the truck parking area alongside there. They're not going anywhere. They know what's coming. This is in Nevada. Trying to think of the where it's. This is east of Sparks. So this is probably between Fernley and Sparks. So I say this is about 30 miles from the state line.
No,
It's not Elko, right?
No, not it. Elko's farther. I'm trying to look because of the industrial complex in the back here.
Right.
Where I'm trying to judge it from. But yeah, this is another a fun spot. You can see when the trucks start lining up, you know they've already received their notification that the California 80 going into California is closed to trucks. Now, this is very important, people. We're going to talk about this here in a little bit, why all this has to do with your supplies and stuff. Hey, more trucks stop. Look at the wheels of the truck, how the snow is built up against the wheels and stuff. These trucks have been sitting for a while. There's all the snow on this truck here. If he was moving, would have blown off. Where was this one, Dave?
That looks like I-80 in Pennsylvania, just past the boys' exit.
Yeah.
And I'm only gauging that by the surrounding flora.
Yeah. But guys, another FedEx truck. So more Amazon presents didn't get delivered. How long do you think it would take them to clear all of these trucks? And you can't even see what I see stoplights up here and stuff. There's a lot of trucks that are wrecked here. It's going to take them hours.
Usually takes a full day to clean it out so people can travel again.
Yeah. All right. So that's a lot of supplies that are not being delivered or being greatly delayed in being delivered.
Not to mention the fact that people being injured and all this other stuff because people forget how to drive.
Yeah. And of course, some of whatever these couple trucks here were carrying is toast now.
That looks like something out in Wyoming or somewhere in there. That area. It's just so flat.
Yeah.
And remember, folks, the same also can happen to the rail systems.
Now, this is Ohio. This is not 80, though. This is in Ohio. I remember it from things. So I grabbed this one because the thing said Ohio, and there's several of them in there. But so I had to do that for those of you from Ohio. Bob, 942. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Bob.
And then you can't read it, but it says 80 and 50 up here. So this is in California, heading up towards Auburn and stuff. You get a little snow, and then some of them stupid California drivers, and I'm from California originally, and the stupid city boys do not know how to drive when you get all dusty and snow on the road.
Just
You
like
don't know how to
cowboys. Right. It's just like city slickers on horses. They have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or dress.
Yeah.
You see the guy in the short pants?
Yeah, right there in the middle.
Yeah. All right. And we're getting here. Okay. So here's the question here. And actually, I should have taken food out of there, but food is the main thing you need to concern yourself with. So what are the effect on the supplies?
Because I can inform some of you folks who are definitely unaware, because most people aren't.
And
half those trucks
before you do that, Dave, we're going to get into what Dave's going to talk about and the supply chain on the 29th, the last Friday of the month. We're going to go into it really heavy, but we're just going to cover it just a little bit lightly here. Go ahead, Dave.
Most of those trucks you've seen on I-80 in California and Nevada and here in Ohio, going easterly bound towards the eastern states, are carrying produce. So a lot of those trucks had produce, not just regular supplies, not toilet paper or rolls of paper for cardboard or steel. A lot of those trucks are coming from Napa Valley and the surrounding areas that grow food literally every day of the year. That's food that's now destroyed sitting on the side of a highway that isn't going to get to your local Walmart. Yep. Donner is notorious for it.
Yeah. I think from Donner Pass to Truckee is bad, but from Truckee to Reno is horrendous.
For some people who don't understand, Donner Pass is 40 miles up and 40 miles down. Okay, that's 80 miles to go over just one mountain. And it's not just a nice climb up, nice climb down. There are spots where it's nice and smooth. Then there's spots at about a 13% grade. And if you're driving in a car, that's no big deal. Put 44,000 pounds in the box on sitting on 18 wheels and try and go down it. Mm-hmm. Your life will flash before your eyes when your brakes are so hot you can smell them burning and you can't stop your vehicle no more.
Yeah.
Those roads are dangerous in good weather. On ice.
Yeah. And even if your brakes and everything are really good, you get it drives me so friggin' nuts every time I drive back to California and back here again for during wintertime and stuff. You get these stupid idiots, and 90% of the time the plate is a California plate, the other 10% it's a Nevada plate. On the road, the overhead things are saying 35 miles an hour recommended, dangerous, slippery, blah, blah, blah. And they're doing 70 miles an hour. And the speed limit is only 65. And they're doing 70, 75 down that friggin' hill. Zip, zap, zip, 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 in between traffic, trucks, and everything else.
Welcome back.
Sorry. It pisses me off, folks.
Welcome back, Howie.
Hey, Howie. So there's a domino effect on trucks when there's an accident like this. Twofold. One, the milder one is a truck gets stuck and he's there for an extra day or whatever, and he's not able to make deliveries. And if he hits 2 or 3 accidents like that going across the United States, he's 3 or 4 days behind.
Which means he ain't making no money.
Yeah. And it also means that that's less stuff being shipped. Now, the other part of it is the trucks that are involved in the accidents that are those trailers are out of the picture now, or the rigs are out of the picture now. So that takes a hit to the supply system. One of the things I wanted to get across to everybody on this, and Uncle Al was talking about it for the last couple of weeks, coming up here, weather-wise, it's going to get tough to get supplies. Now, some people are talking, I don't want to get dinged on this, so I'm going to dance around it. Today is the 12th, so in 8 more days, other problems could rear their ugly head. And seriously, and there could be changes and stuff for stuff getting out there. But when the weather's out there, if you don't have your supplies yet, folks,
forget it.
You got tomorrow and the next day possibly to go pick up some supplies.
If you don't know what he's trying to tell you, go watch my video from last night, my live stream from last night, where I didn't care and I talked about it.
Yeah.
Go check out my live stream from last night before they pull it down.
Remember, and Dave, if you pull up that the URL for your video, I'll put it in the chat here.
Oh, sure. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. So one of the things to consider on the all right here I said food supplies, but it also deals with other supplies. And is that next? No, it's not next. All right, so we're going to stay on food supplies for a second here. Now, if this is you're seeing to try to get to the store, for me, Walmart is 15 miles away up the Yellowstone Highway. So if you got that to go, and that happens, I'm not getting to the store. All right. And if I do get to the stores and we've had a heavy storm, I ain't gonna have any place to park. Or the stores, or store employees are not going to be able to get in. So the stores are going to be shut down and closed because they can't open up because their employees aren't there, or they don't have the the stuff. Oh, did I forget to put that other picture in here?
Could be.
I think I forgot to put the other picture in here. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah. So back up. So if you can't drive, you're going to have to walk and carry your groceries. But if you get to the store, if they do open up, hey, this store may look like this.
Or worse, no lights or power.
Exactly. And if there's no power to this store because the power lines came down, all that frozen food, it's gone. Unless, of course, the store is below freezing indoors. Of course, then the water lines will probably break in the store. But wintertime is not a time.
Sarah brings up a good point.
Right, about the cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because some stores will have learned, and they have battery powered calculators,
right,
to add stuff up. Oh, very good, Bob. Thank you, Bob, for pointing that out. And Martha throws something else out there right along with that. 3 days worth of most Americans have 3 days worth of food in their home. Most of us have a lot more, but get it while you can.
Hey, Gil.
Yeah.
What was that memo that was passed out shortly before you left the office about prep?
Oh, there were several of them coming out. Several of them came out actually. Another one came out this summer, but I fought hard with some of the political brown nosers that were, because the people that were being elected didn't want the truth out there about, oh, you need to have a lot more than just 72 hours of food. You need to have a minimum of 10 days worth of food. Better to have 30 days. And DHS changed their on the ready.gov site, changed it to have 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks later they changed it to 30 days, and they would change it to 40 days, 45 days. That stayed up for 1 day, and somebody in Congress said, no, you're going to freak everybody out. Dial that back. But what happened this summer or in fall, they were talking about a program which I haven't seen come out yet, and they were talking about it. So whether or not it got the kibosh put on it by certain political people not wanting to freak out their constituents, that to encourage everybody this spring to plant a garden. Well, planting a garden this spring is a little late for the wintertime. So
Wayne put up a good point on the water. And for a lot of you folks, I'm paranoid, and I have 2 5-gallon cans of, the Jeep style cans in the house, and I got another 10 outside in the garage.
Yeah, I just yesterday I went into I had gone to Idaho Falls to deal with some stuff, and I stopped at Costco and Sam's Club on the way back, and then I stopped at Brolam's, which is just up the road here 4 miles. And at Brolam's, I got 2 more of the water cubes, 5-gallon water cubes, for $5.99. And
those are great.
Yeah, those are great. And they're down in the basement full of water. So that makes 12 of those down there.
I have to tell people right now, I checked about 4 grocery stores because I feed 20 people with my food box drive. Guess what's missing off the shelves?
What?
Cup of noodles. I can't find any kind of brand or bowl. And all the Spams and Vienna sausages. So what tells you that, folks? We have a big run of a college party? No. When you see Spam is gone, you don't see any Spam, and you don't see any cup of noodles or the bowls, something's coming up.
Yeah,
I think that's the right link, Bill.
And that's part of the supply chain, because pull this up here now, Control C. back to the comments and put it down here. All right. So the link I'm putting in right now should go to Dave's live stream from last night.
I think so.
The
My computer's not acting very good.
Yeah. The when I was up at Costco was fully loaded with the cup of soups and the Spam. However, they were missing all the cleaning wipes, the Clorox wipes, the other wipes and stuff. Those were all gone. So it depends where you're at in the country. There's already
Runs.
There's already runs, or there is shipping issues already. So it could just be shipping issues, them not being able to get it to the certain areas. But I know that the cleaning wipes up in Idaho Falls have been going out of Costco. They get a load in on Saturday or Friday, put it out Saturday morning or Friday night for Saturday morning. It's gone by Saturday night. 2 pallets, boom.
Right.
Gone.
Wayne just, if you see Wayne's comment, we're all out of the green bottles. We still got the white bottles, the refillable, but all green bottles. I still got the little cans.
Yeah.
The butane ones, but all the green bottles are totally gone off the shelves. It's like, there was 40 cases there last week, and I come back, there's not a single drop of the green Coleman, propane things.
Yeah. All right, guys, gas cans. When gas cans start disappearing from the auto parts stores and the big box stores, the last place they disappear from generally is Harbor Freight.
Yep.
Harbor Freight usually has them when nobody else does. And they're good price. They're good price, and I like the anti-siphon valve on them better than most of the others.
Okay, for who is it? A Wolf. Don't go out and buy them. Make your own. Both Gil and I have both made videos on how to make these.
And actually, if you look down in the description, down here below, I have a video. Have one of the videos on oil lamps down there.
And that's cooking oil. It's clean. The wick that's in there is clean. If I need a drop of oil or two to cook with, I can still pull it up out of that because the flame doesn't actually get into it.
Yeah. And especially if you clean it first and before you put your olive oil in there. And when you talked about cooking oils and stuff, olive oil burns better for a light than canola oil or corn oil does.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Firefly.
Hey, Lori. We got 2 Loris in the house.
Yeah.
We got Lori Firefly Farm, and we got Lori the Prairie Rider. All right, so let's head back over here to go to the next. Okay, yeah, so we've already started working on this right now. What else do you think you're going to need for winter supplies to get you through 1 or 2 or 3 winter storms? Because sometimes you'll have a day break or 2 days of break, and then the next storm comes right on its butt. So
usually it's gasoline and diesel because I'm near Kalinga, so it's not that a problem for me. We get it directly from the plant, but any place else in the country, it's like Dave says, you're going to be in the snow trying to find diesel at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. What I found interesting is that when I was at Costco yesterday, they just put out a new pallet of rock salt for of the ice melt stuff. I grabbed another 50 pound bag of it. I now got 3 50-pound bags in the garage.
Oh, here's a tip: save some of that rock salt, and you can load it in shotgun shells. Pour a little bacon grease or lard on top of it. Makes a big orange, what's called fireball.
Fireball, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
and anyone gets hit with it, they're not going to get up. They're probably screaming and running home.
I add garlic oil to it.
You're too nice.
No. You never don't know what happens when you get garlic oil in a wound. It ain't nice. Oh, ow.
Mm-hmm. And where I live, I almost get nothing. For the last 3 years, I wanted to. There's a hill just the other side of my building here that if we had a sled and snow, Charles could go down it. For the last 3 years, there has not been the opportunity. There hasn't been enough snow where I live to do it.
We'll pray.
Yeah. So, what was it? Yesterday afternoon on Keto Homestead with Jess.
Right.
She was talking about some stuff, and she was talking about, I forget what,
Right now,
they were talking about some supplies and stuff they were getting. And then today on Dirt Patch Haven's live stream today, she was talking about some of the supplies she was getting, and she was from an Army surplus store. She got some old Army wool blankets, and some of them had like cuts or little tears in them and stuff, so they were ridiculously cheap, like $2. She got a couple of those and just got out the thread and needle and patched it up.
And remember, folks, some of them are wool blankets.
Stuff.
Moving blankets work really well. You know, them ugly, nasty looking things you can get at Harbor Freight for like $3.
Yep.
Yeah.
On sale. They do a great job of covering windows. You can lay under them. They will keep your butt warm. They're not the most comfortable. They're harder than heck to wash because once they get wet, they weigh 4 tons. But those moving blankets are an option. They're cheap. They last a long time if you take care of them.
Yeah. Now there's 2 different types of the moving blankets at Harbor Freight. There's the black ones, which are the black ones are the smaller ones and thinner ones. The blue ones are the bigger ones. So the smaller ones are like 5 by 4, whatever, and the other ones are the big ones. Anyways, yeah, the blue ones, when they're on sale, stock up on them. I got probably about 20 out in the cargo container out here.
Yeah, Wayne just said they have a coupon for the moving blankets.
Yeah,
right?
there he goes. There he goes. It's the 80 by 72. Yeah. T-Word says they're so cheap. Why watch them?
And hi, I think WD. Hi, WD.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a for some of your winter supplies, think outside the box, guys. Harbor Freight, a lot of their stuff comes from across the ocean. But at that price, and if it saves your life, or at least makes your life more comfortable through a winter storm or whatever. Yeah. When my scout troop, the troop bought 10 of those blankets for one of the campouts. Afterwards, they wanted to buy another 10. And a bunch of the boys went out and bought their own because they liked it so much.
Yep.
Ooh, Martha. Martha's getting underwater.
Oh, it's not snow, so don't worry about it. Plenty of water to garden.
Yeah, wait till that water freezes, though.
Yeah, true.
Then you have your own personal ice rink. Where's the problem in that?
Well, problem right here where I'm at is that ice rink is in the driveway trying to get in and out of here.
Well, do you like that? What Hubble's cat show? That one guy with the Uncle Eddie's hat and smoking a cigar and holding a beer and a flamethrower, cleaning out the driveway.
Hey, everybody, please follow Bumblebee's example.
Hey, Al, type something in chat real quick so she can see your channel's name so she can go find your channel.
Oh,
right.
wait.
Yeah.
Where did I put it?
Yeah, I'll just, it's, yeah. Okay, here, I'm going to put it big here. Hang on, guys. So basically, it's the youtube.com user, Die Bullfrog, 1L in Bullfrog, 79. So Die Bullfrog with 1L, one word, 79 is Uncle Al.
Oh, and everybody, I am doing the starvation series on bulk uh, bulk count food systems because everybody's doing calorie count. I just saw Prepper Potpourris was talking about the LDS one, and also what was the third one that came out? The calorie counter you were talking about, Gil?
Probably the one that's in my video.
Could be
2 or 3 months ago.
Right.
Yeah, there are several calorie counter schedules out there. There are also a couple of food calculators that are out there.
There's also some really good apps for your phone as well.
Yeah.
The one I like is on Provident Living, and it's put out by the LDS Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and you put in how many adults, how many children, and how long time frame: 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 26 weeks, 48 weeks, 120 weeks, and it breaks it down to generalizations. It'll say so many pounds of wheat, so many pounds of sugar, so many pounds of honey, so many pounds of this, so many pounds of that. It'll say legumes, beans, whatever. You break it up how you want to do that. 50 pounds of legumes, beans, whether you want black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, whatever. But it just tells you the generalizations so you can massage it and customize it to your family's needs.
Right.
Hello,
Hi, David.
Hey, David. So time's running short for get stocking up, but don't blow the budget. Be prepared is good, but if you blow the budget, you're going to be short somewhere else later on.
Mm-hmm.
So all that snow is also going to be melting really quick.
Oh, yeah. And if you're living in the Houston area, you might have surfing weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, down the streets.
Remember last year?
Yeah. I got to check with my sister. My sister lives in Spring, Texas. Find out what's going on there. Fortunately, when they got flooded last year, she had pictures. Everyone, their house, unfortunately, was built up they built up the ground there off the street, and so they did their home didn't get flooded, but the street was flooded where they couldn't leave. So, we've talked about it for quite a while here. I started back. Let me go back here. Just before Thanksgiving with the first video of the series. And let me throw this back up. The getting ready for winter. What we forgot to do. We've been talking about this, and not just my channel. Other channels have been harping on sometimes almost the same topic that week of things. How much is enough was all last week was just everybody was doing videos on how much you need to be stocking up and balancing your preps. That was a big one last week, not just for my channel, but for a lot of channels.
Right, like Southern Days, Prepper Potpourri. I forgot.
Old School Prepper had one.
Right, and also City Prepping and Urban Prepping and the Canadian guy, Canadian Prepper.
Yeah.
I think Hubble's Cat did one too.
Yeah. So, guys, great minds think alike. Panic minds think alike. But we're not panicking, so we must be great. So, one of the things here I want to point out to you guys here. Let me grab it up here on the other computer over here real quick. All right, so coming up here this Friday, the topic is natural disasters that change the weather. This is going to be number 8 in the Winter Preparedness series.
So a lot of channels are doing that issue too.
Yeah.
I just looked at 3 this morning.
Yeah. Next Tuesday is clothing supplies. What do you need for winter? That's number 9. The following Friday is going to be utilizing your food storage. Following Tuesday is what's your dream gear specialty? Not too much of the winter specialty stuff, but just talking about what is your dream gear for your supplies you want to get. On January, February, on January, if I get my tongue tied here, guys. On Friday, January 29th. Got it. The topic is the fragile food supply chain.
How fragile is it?
And that's what we're going to be talking about. And the guy that knows a lot about that is
Who,
the truck
me?
driver here, who's been into places that we don't even know exist.
I've literally taken a semi into cities that they say no trucks allowed because I had to pick up or deliver a load of something or other to those cities. I've had people look at me and tell me to my face, "You can't drive a truck up there." Well, I've done it. Sometimes it's absolute murder. When you go around a corner and you can read the license plate on your trailer from your truck, you're going places you really shouldn't be going with a truck. Then they've done that.
But then also
It's a figure of speech, but
the distribution centers that Dave's been into that we don't know exist. And we're going to talk about about distribution centers and trucking and the whole, I just forgot what it's called. The supply system, on-demand supply system for grocery stores.
Just-in-time system.
Just-in-time system, yeah. So that's what we're going to be talking about on the 29th. That's going to be a really in-depth one, folks.
Provided we still have free speech.
Yeah.
And provided we still have services.
Yeah. So.
Well, the services will be up. It's a question of whether or not we'll be able to speak our minds.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up for the rest of the month here. We got some other good stuff coming up in February. But we're not going to worry about that. That's a little far out. But that's just what's coming up here on the Tactical Tuesday and the Friday night special for the rest of the month.
Hey, Grammy.
Hey, Granny. Yeah,
hey, Granny Karen. Hey, how's it going? And so, guys, if you look right now, when you get off here, take a notepad and a pencil, go to your pantry, start writing down what you have in there, start writing out, figure out tonight how many meals you can make and what you are missing as part of the recipe to make those meals, and get it tomorrow.
Don't tell anybody, but I can make 433 meals out of what I got. Just don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Also, folks, remember, Old School Prepper did it. Prepper Potpourri did it. Check your serving sizes on the food. A full-grown man doing cow's work, I can't live on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The if I can get the box there of oatmeal. The packets are 1 serving.
1/3 cup.
I do 2 or 3 packets depending on what I'm planning to do, how much work I'm planning to do that morning.
Gee, you're a light eater. I could eat 5 packs.
Yeah, I know. I could too, but I'm trying to shed some weight.
I was being facetious.
Yeah. And I could really pig out on that stuff. What's this? Sam's was messed up. A lot of their yeah.
Yep. My Walmart's already starting to experience said shortages. So I already spoke about this a couple times. I did a live stream with Gil, and can't remember if Al was on that one or not. But
which one?
I already my supply chain video live stream.
Yeah.
So if you want a precursor to what's coming up on the 29th, go watch my live stream from last year on the supply chain.
It's a really good one, folks. If you can, put it in your playlist, record it, download it. You have to watch it. And also there's Martha saying, yep, check the calorie count on the foods. I have a beef with homesteaders and gardeners on that because I'm going old bulk school measurement books. This is from people that went to places that were under a certain poundage. They starved.
Yeah.
Look at the Germans.
Back to you. How you doing?
Hey,
Susan.
Yeah.
look at the Germans. They starved. They didn't make it to Moscow, did they?
No. Yeah, there's a lot of things. So one of the things why we're talking about emphasizing again about I'm just sliding here to get the pictures up, about the food chain. These trucks loaded with food ain't going anywhere very fast.
So that nice, beautiful bouquet of grapes and strawberries and blueberries and stuff you thought you were going to have for dinner next week, as snacks or whatever, guess what? It's still sitting on the highway out in California, buried in snow. You ain't going to get it.
And my wife is watching the roads seriously because she's supposed to come up here at the end of the month to sign papers on the new house we're getting across the street, or I should say the additional house across the street. And she does not want to see this on the roadway. She may wind up flying up here because, and not bring all the stuff she wants to bring. But yeah, you get the Interstate 80 out of California shut down so it looks like this. No trucks on it. That means no food's moving. That means no supplies are moving. Anything coming into the port of Oakland, the port of Long Beach, port of San Francisco, all those cargo container trucks ain't moving heading east. They're stuck in California.
Now, mind you, there are alternative routes out of California that would bypass most of it. Mind you, that also adds, on average, let's say a load of cantaloupe was supposed to leave California on Tuesday and be here by Thursday evening, Friday morning. That's normal. If I-80 is closed in a couple spots, which during the winter gets closed quite a bit, that means they now have to drive to the southern end of California, braving I-5 and all that beautiful traffic down through there, cut across
over the grapevine. If the grapevine's not closed, because it closes in Southern California.
Yeah, the grapevine's even actually worse than 80 as far as some of the hills, but usually one or the other one is open. So there is routes out, but if they have to go from Northern California to Southern California, skirt the bottom of the nation, and then come up, that adds an extra 3 days of travel time. So instead of the food getting to your local store on Friday morning, it's now Monday morning before it hits the distribution center to get to your store by now the next following 3 or 4 days. So what normally takes 4 days to get from California to your door, it now takes a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Right. And at least it's winter because the southern route is through, I forget, Dave, is it through Death Valley again or skirts it?
Part of it, some of them can go through it, some of them go around it, but
some of them go through Vegas, some of them go through Phoenix to take the 10 or the old Route 66.
Yep.
Right.
Then, mind you, Route 66 is fun to travel for scenic. It's not fun to travel on a truck.
Yeah. No. So, when 80 is blocked up like this, supplies ain't getting through. And these trucks are stopped because of the weather conditions. And these trucks have been sitting here for a while. You can tell all the snow that's built up on it and around the tires. These trucks are stuck here for a day or two. Most of them are going to be delivering what they got.
Right. And folks, let me put a down point for all this.
Hey,
go ahead. In this, hi, Courtney. In the 60s, they say trucking was cheaper than rail, so we could cut down on all the rail systems all throughout California, Nevada, Washington, Oregon, and they could put in trucks, which was cheaper, safer, and faster.
Yeah, right. Actually, the only thing that actually the rail going out of California with all the snow sheds and stuff, they still have, if they have a really good storm come through, they still got to run several snow trains through there to clear it before a freight train can go through.
Right. And also, a lot of people forget some of those tracks are for federal use only. So they could transport tanks, equipment.
Military convoys.
Yeah. And like Martha says here, if the supplies are delayed, especially for produce and stuff, all of a sudden it's, either the truck is stuck in the snow, you got frozen lettuce now, or if it has to go down, it could get...
Most of the produce coming out of California, with the exception of very, very, very few, is usually pulled on a reefer. So a reefer truck maintains a certain temperature no matter what. As long as that truck doesn't run, the reefer doesn't run out of diesel, which some drivers will actually siphon diesel from the tractor to the trailer so it doesn't run out. It's fine. But if that trailer loses fuel and that reefer shuts off, instead of being a nice, comfortable 35 degrees inside that trailer to keep that lettuce and other produce perfect, it now drops or raises, whatever type of weather you're in.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin. And CJM Farms. Yeah. So there's guys, didn't mean to hit that one. Try to do the other one off.
Yes, old school. It will either heat or cool depending on the temperature you set it at.
Yeah.
It will maintain a constant temp.
Yeah. So I personally am really concerned about my extended YouTube family out here, making sure everyone has supplies. Now, this is where it gets selfish, and this is going to be a weird type of selfish. I share all this information so you guys can be prepared and won't come after my supplies. You guys should do the same thing. Share it with your relatives and stuff so they have their own, so they don't come after your supplies. All right, be selfish. Have plenty for yourself and make sure your friends have plenty for themselves so they don't come after yours.
Okay, I am the exception to that rule. For one thing, I have goodie bags that they can trade for. If my neighbors run out of something and they need something, and it's to the point where nobody has anything, and most of my neighbors know I have a fairly well-stocked pantry. They know I will help children. But the adults, they can fend for themselves. That's just my take on it. If you ain't smart enough to protect yourself and your children, I'm not going to let your children go hungry, but you got to get off your booty and find some way to make something that I want in order to get food for you. So I've got little goodie bags put up and set up so I can ration them out should it get to that.
Okay, what we got here? I'm just double checking things in the comment, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Nope.
All right.
Coming to steal from my house will leave you a bloody mess.
Yep.
And it will be quiet, except for when you're screaming.
So, yeah, like I said, get that notepad, get your pencil, go inventory what you have. Don't just inventory, oh, I got so many pounds of beans, rice, so many cans of corn, so many cans of tuna, so many cans of this. Like we talked when was it? Which one was it? Was it Friday or last Tuesday? We talked about we're eating same food over and over again. The syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's food fatigue.
Food fatigue, yes. You don't want to get food fatigue, so make sure you have all your spices, all your flavorings, all your extra stuff to go with it. The packets of dried soup mix, my wife uses that in other ways than making soup. She adds it to stuff. She adds certain things. She adds the onion soup mix to the meatloaf. Fantastic meatloaf, by the way.
Yes, you can.
So
and I'm going to add something else to this. It's not something that's discussed very often because most people go, ew. Expiration dates. Expirations dates on canned goods, as long as the cans are not dented, showing rust, just means that the food tastes best by that date. After that, it still has nutritional value, and some canned foods have lasted as many as 25, 30 years. They may not taste the greatest, hence keep spices. But even if a can is 2 or 3 years out of date, you're going to look at that and go, you know what? Pretty damn hungry. I got some garlic, salt, and chili powder over here. I don't care how old that can of beans is. I'm going to cook it and I'm going to eat it.
And
Okay, don't go throwing out that can of beans that's a year old. I've got canned beans, green beans, that are 2 years old right now. I'm not going to throw them out because absolute worst case scenario, they will get eaten. Might not taste the greatest. My stomach may say, you idiot.
Right.
But at least I'll have some nutrients out of it.
Right. A lot of people don't understand what Tibor said. He had 8-year-old beans Pinto beans. Trouble with beans and pastas and rices and stuff. Pasta you can rehydrate, which is basically a dry noodle. But beans and rice, you could transform its shape. You can make it into sausage. You can make it into patties. You can make it into pasta. You can make it into wurst or sausages.
One of the greatest things I came across was from Tostitos. They have a sub brand called Simply.
Right.
It was the black bean chip. It's absolutely fabulous. I don't know why they pulled it and they started putting out this other mix of stuff. But hey, you can take your beans and stuff, grind them up, make flours, make chips, make tortillas. You can bake breads out, bean bread and stuff. Okay, what is it here? Okay, we got fresh cane. Boss kills it every year. Okay.
Yeah, old school brings up a point.
I'm trying to find what David. Okay, yeah, okay. So,
and see, that's something some preppers have been talking about for years. I being one of the goofballs that have been saying it. There are certain foods that, like ravioli, it's got a high acidic tomato base. Those cans, I personally can't stand the smell of that when it's fresh. So I personally am not going to keep anything past maybe a year after the expiration date on that, mainly because of acidity in the tomato juice.
Yep.
Okay, it will eat the lining on the inside of a can, especially around the seam, and then it'll start rusting on the inside. You won't be able to see it, but it will definitely taint your food. I've actually opened cans of chicken and beef that have been rusted on the inside before the expiration date, mind you, because of the acidity and the oils and stuff start breaking down that lining. Obviously, cans that are before the expiration date that are that way were bad to begin with, but a good can will last.
Yeah. I saw that bumblebee. Our cabin in the woods. Hey, welcome.
Hi, our cabin.
So, you guys latecomers, and you missed some good stuff at the beginning here. We talked about the snowstorm that's blowing around us here and how it affects a lot of stuff, traffic, cars. You're being able to walk to the store, even if the store is fully stocked. Yours being able to get there, you can't drive. You have to walk, and you don't want to be walking in a snowstorm.
No, you don't want to be like these folks if you're camping.
Yeah.
I have to do it anyway, but I'm only a mile from my Walmart, so and a mile and a tenth from Kroger, and a mile and a half from Myers. So
the something I was going to mention earlier when Dave and I were talking about Donner Pass and the road and stuff. Donner Pass is named for the Donner Party, which left a little late, heading from the east, heading west. Got up in there and they had an early snow, and they wound up, they're famous for being cannibals.
Also, another thing with the Donner Party is they goofed up on the food ration too.
Yeah, that was a totally screwed up all the way around. Lemony Snickets is what that was. So,
and certain fruits. Like mangoes and stuff like that will also rust on the inside because of the acidity. Citrus is very high in acid, just like tomatoes are. They will eat the lining on the inside of a can. So if the can isn't properly prepared before they can it, before they put the seal on the top and ship it out to the stores, you're going to open up a can of mango oranges that says expiration date 2022. Oh man, these are going to be great. You open it up, and not only does it stink, it's got an orange color to it, not because of the citrus, but because there's rust along its seam. And you just throw it out. Don't take a chance and eat it. You will wind up very sick.
Yeah, it's we call it summer poisoning or botulism. So don't eat it, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Some of us like T-Bar have done winter camping, and we've done a lot of stuff. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to go out there into the snow and stuff. I want to, stay nice and warm. I'm retired. I want to stay that there.
I really wish I had access to an area where I could actually do a video the first snow we get to teach people how to actually winter camp in a bad situation and make it so it's survivable, because there is a way to do it, and I'll give a brief explanation real quick. Take your tent, set your tent up. First of all, put a tarp underneath the tent so you don't pull moisture up through the bottom of your tent. Put a very thick, heavy tarp underneath your tent. Do that in the summer too. Okay. Next, make sure you're not underneath any widowmakers, which are trees that are dead or have branches that are thick, heavy, and dead above you. But you do want to find yourself a stand of trees. You set your tent up between two trees, then you make a lean-to on the wind side of your tent. You cover it with brush, and then you pile about 8 inches of snow against it. Therefore, it creates a cold weather block. Your tent will stay nice and warm. It ain't going to be toasty. You'll keep it above freezing. Okay, it's the same principle if you're in, say, Alaska or northern Canada, and there's 4, 5, 6 feet of snow on the ground, and you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere. You make yourself an underground igloo. Make sure you got a vent to breathe, but you'll stay above freezing. You will last longer.
Yeah. Couple quick things here. Yes. Our Cabin Woods. Yeah. Yesterday I was on live streams all over the place. I finished off the night on Dave's live stream last night, and we put that link. Actually, I can do that again here. I'm not sure, is that the one from last night? I think that's the one from last night. So that's the link for the Dave's last night. We talked about some really serious stuff last night over on Dave's channel.
And it's pertinent information. And I'm going to add to that real quick. I mentioned it to Gil and Al a minute or before we started. If you have a smartphone, be it Apple, Android, Google, whoever, and in the next 2 or 3 days, you suddenly get this notice, there is an emergency update or an update for your phone. Do not update it.
No.
Do not update until after the 24th. The reason being, and it is now on desks in the federal offices, trying to limit the cell carriers stuff because people are trying to do something that's illegal, which is block the emergency broadcast system. That's what this update is. This is not conspiracy theory. It's already in Washington. There's people suing the cell providers for trying to do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's not mainstream media news, but it is news you need to be aware of.
Not just the cell phone providers. The number one is the red fruit carrier, producer of the phones is the main one doing it. But yeah. Let's see here. Okay. I know there's some more stuff we should be talking about. And for my video yesterday, when I did the review on the Mr. Heater, there was a bunch of people commenting in the comment section down below after watching it and stuff. I bought that one last spring when it was right as winter was ending and everything was on clearance. I got that one for $39 Home Depot. 2 weeks ago, it was in Walmart for $79. Someone made a comment on it. Just got one within the last 2 days, $99. We're going into winter, guys. People are realizing, oh crud, and now supply and demand prices are getting jacked up on stuff.
Here's
right, wait until July.
Yeah, and what Dave, I want to add it to what Dave said about the tent. When I was a Scoutmaster and we were doing any type of wet ground or snow camping, we get a tarp twice as long as the footprint of the tent. We lay it out. We lay some of those Harbor Freight moving pads down, and then fold the rest of the tarp back over it, and then put the tent on it for 2 reasons. One, gives you insulation and get more of a water barrier there, but it also, any rocks or anything or sticks in the snow, anything down in there, keeps it from poking all the way up to the bottom of your tent.
Now here's a quick tidbit. If you have people living down south and they have a Mr. Buddy heater in their stores, mainly along like Florida and places like that stock them, but people don't usually buy them, and they're still like $30. You could probably have somebody down there pick it up and mail it to you for less than you're going to spend up here in the northern states.
Yeah. Let's say hello to Tony and Leanne from Doing the Redneck Things.
Hey guys. All right. I forgot to call out Mrs. Mel 269. She's been been in there for a while. So yeah, I saw you in there, but the conversation was going. I forgot to give you a shout out.
You have to forgive him, folks. He is getting kind of old. His brain does take trips without him sometimes.
Yeah, I've been playing with 4 grandkids today.
Mm-hmm.
I was up late with the youngest one last night after midnight, and then up again at 6 o'clock this morning with him crying, trying to give my daughter and son-in-law a break from him.
Well, I'm going to address
a question here for Old School Martha and Courtney. You guys got the link. If there's stuff you want to say, not tight, come on in here, and we'll get you up on here.
All right. And another thing too, which isn't talked about a whole lot. I've mentioned it on several live streams. I haven't done a video specifically on it because I'm not in an area where I can actually do what I'm fixing to describe. But if you're in an area where there's a creek, you have creek washed stones that are smooth, no cracks in them, and it's wintertime, and you don't have a way to heat your home on the inside with, say, a wood fire or something like that, the best way to do it is in the morning. Start a nice bonfire outside. Get it nice and cherry hot. Get a lot of coals in it. Then take some dried, keyword is dried, river rock and put it into the fire. And keep that fire going all day. So those stones get nice and hot all the way through. Then in the evening, you can take a shovel, pull those rocks out, take them into the house, put them on a steel pan with bricks underneath it to keep it off your floor. And you can actually heat underneath. Fire brick will work, yes. Regular red brick will not work. It will break and shatter. But you can actually use rocks to heat under your bed to keep your bedroom where you're sleeping warm enough to keep you asleep and not up and down all night because you're frozen. That is an old Indian trick. They used to do it in the long huts, teepees and stuff like that. In the wintertime, they'd keep rocks in a fire. And then in the evening, they would take those rocks into the, whatever they were sleeping on to keep themselves warm. So that is one option.
Yeah. So guys, considering like if the power's out or whether you're losing, you're heating, you're trying to heat the house. Hey, everybody doesn't get their own bedroom. Close off bedrooms, have everyone sleep together, gather together. When I was talking earlier about my friend's cabin up at Tahoma, up off of Lake Tahoe. Usually the first night there, the living room was wall-to-wall sleeping bags because we're waiting for the house to heat up and the fireplace going. And it was wall-to-wall sleeping bags. And we actually were pretty toasty warm down there because the body heat was so close to everybody else that it stayed warm. Yeah. Hang on. What? Oh, okay. I get the punchline now. Make sure you don't burn your biscuits.
Like I said, folks, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah. Okay, it's getting to about 1 hour and
30 and a half. So those who just came in here lately, just a quick reminder what's coming up here. Let me pop it back up here for everybody on site. Okay, so this Friday is on the Friday night special is going to be natural disasters that change the weather. Next Tuesday here is going to be clothing supplies. What do you really need for the winter? The following Friday is going to be utilizing your food storage. And then we're going to go to what is your dream tactical gear? And then the final Friday of January, the 29th, is going to be a big special one. We're probably going to run 2 hours on that one, folks. It's going to be the fragile food supply chain. And we're going to be talking a lot. We're going to be going over a lot of information that most people don't know, and why things happened the way they happened last spring and summer, and why they're already starting to do it again.
And if you want a precursor to it, go check out my live streams, and you'll see one that says the supply chain. Go watch that, and you'll have a good appetizer for what we're going to be discussing then.
Yeah. All righty, folks. We're going to wrap it up here now. Any last words, Dave?
Last words.
Al?
I'm fine.
All right. So everyone out there, and especially in these trying times, try to stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared.
Watch your speech.
Yep. And we'll see